Hi, I, female 19 years old, have been translating for my older deaf sister, female 26 years old, as long as I can remember. My sister lost all her hearing at the age of 3. My parents are not fluent in American Sign Language, ASL, so they only use home signs, made-up signs including pointing. I am the youngest of 7, and the one who knows the most ASL. Because of this, I have been translating for my sister to my parents, sometimes older siblings, etc. Growing up, I'd always get irritated when my parents' siblings would make me interpret. I've increasingly gotten more irritated with them over the years. Not my deaf sister, it's not her fault. My older siblings have made a small effort into learning more ASL. My parents, on the other hand, have not. Yesterday, my deaf sister vented to me after struggling to understand what our mum was trying to tell her. This wasn't the first time, but for some reason it made me angry, unlike the other times where I was just frustrated. I approached my mum and told her what my sister had said. My mum replied that she can't remember signs because of her age. She's 50 years old. I told her that she had 23 years to learn ASL, but didn't make an effort to. My mum then said that it wasn't her fault because there are not many resources to learn ASL for Spanish speakers. My parents know very little English. I brought up how I've translated, in written format, English videos teaching ASL to Spanish, but she never utilised my papers. I then told her that she can't even sign "What's your favourite colour" and that she was never there for my sister when traumatic things were happening. This is when she started to cry and ask why I was blaming her. I did not comfort her. I just left to my room. I love my parents and my deaf sister does too, but it can get hard sometimes. We have our good days and bad days, and I'm honestly tired. I think that is why I snapped. After the argument, I felt bad. My parents are immigrants. They never finished elementary school. Maybe that is why they couldn't learn ASL. I've never gotten into a big argument like that with my mum and have not apologised. Now here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot, you're a wonderful person, and the only compassionate person in your family. I cannot imagine giving birth to a deaf child and not learning ASL. Your parents had the opportunity to learn alongside your sister since she was born. 23 years of them consciously choosing to not be able to communicate with their own child is jerk behaviour. As you know, learning ASL is not that hard. They don't even want to learn how to communicate in the language of the country they live in. I'm born in the US, 6 years older than your mother, and I learned ASL and French, even though I have nobody to talk to in those languages. You don't need a college-level education to learn languages. My mother is an immigrant with the equivalent of a 6th grade education too. She worked her way up in a job to become a department manager. Your mother is full of invalid excuses and is using tears to manipulate you. I'm glad your sister has you. Comment 2, not the idiot. I'm just flabbergasted that your parents have never learned to sign. How can a parent not make the effort to learn to communicate with their child? They should have started learning the day they found out your sister was deaf. I don't know where you are located, but there are almost certainly agencies for the deaf which could have assisted your parents. If they were motivated, they could have learned simple signs from you and built up their skills slowly over the years. If you are located in an English-speaking country, such as the USA, then it sounds like they could not be bothered to learn English either. 50 is not too old to learn a new language. I'm 66, and I'm currently learning both Dutch and ASL and Australian Sign Language. Comment 3. Not the idiot, you are an amazing person, and your sister is so lucky to have you in her life. There is no excuse your parents can give that make it right. Your sister grew up without the adults in her life being able to meaningfully communicate with her. That is on them. And I can only imagine how hurtful it is for her that her parents were not invested enough to learn to have a conversation with her. Now, for the next story. My 40-year-old daughter, 21-year-old Kate, is pregnant by her 22-year-old boyfriend Matt. Kate currently lives with me and Matt currently lives with his dad and stepmom. They want to get an apartment together, but neither Kate or Matt are good with money, so they have zero savings. Kate is currently not working. She quit the day she found out she was pregnant, which was about 4 weeks ago. Matt works full-time and both of them dropped out of school. I've offered if they find a place in a reasonable price range, I will take care of the deposit, help get utilities turned on, pay half the rent each month, and continue paying Kate's car insurance and phone bill. I also told them once the baby is born, I'm more than happy to help out if the baby needs formula, diapers, wipes, clothes, etc. Kate and Matt were very happy about that until they heard my caveat. My caveat is, I will directly buy what they ask for. They can send me the links to what they want for the baby, but I'm not going to be giving them any actual cash. Same applies with helping them with the deposit and rent. I'll write a check directly to the apartment complex. I've seen how Kate and Matt handle money, like there's just more randomly laying around. They go out, spend all weekend, as Matt gets paid on Friday. Then by Tuesday, Kate is usually asking me for gas money on behalf of Matt because he's broke. She doesn't work, and his parents aren't financially stable enough to help out. Kate immediately objected to my conditions and said I'm being unfair to her and Matt, treating them like children, and I should want to help out anyway they need or want me to. I told Kate from past observations that my choosing to not directly give them money is not something I'm willing to discuss or negotiate on right now. If that's something they need, either Kate goes back to work since she's having an extremely easy pregnancy, or they go ask Matt's parents for money in hand and try their luck doing that. Am I the idiot? I'm not going to penalise my future grandchild and make them go without because my daughter and her boyfriend have poor financial literacy. Comment 1. Not the idiot. They're looking a gift horse in the mouth. It's a sweet deal for them, and they should be down on their knees grateful for your generous offer. They are too immature to understand what you're offering. They're playing house like children, but they have adult responsibilities they are not living up to. Quitting as soon as she finds out she's pregnant, that's just dumb. Spending your paycheck as if it's monopoly money is not a great way to save for their future child. They're playing the game of life like it's the board game and not real life bills, diapers and food. Please encourage her to nurse her baby. Way less expensive than formula. Comment 2. Kate immediately objected to my conditions and said I'm being unfair to her and Matt, treating them like children. Well, they are acting like children. Why should you treat them differently? You are going above and beyond to help, and instead of thanking you profusely and trying to get to a point where they don't have to rely on your help, she wants to complain that you won't just hand her stacks of cash to use on whatever random crap she wants to buy. Not the idiot, and please stick to your guns on this. Comment 3. Not the idiot, but if you think your daughter's problem is simply financial literacy, you are in for a rude awakening. This is well beyond being good with money. You've totally enabled her. She thought quitting her job was the right move. What gave her that idea? She can't even manage to pay her own phone bill, and based on their spending behaviour it sounds like drugs and partying are their priorities. Now for the next story. I work at an office, and I actually like my job. I'm still a student, so I'm usually there in the early evenings just helping around. The regular workers have a short overlap with me, around 30 to 45 minutes. Some background, I don't use a lot of products with scent. The reason for this is that if it's unnecessary I don't use it. Like in the washing machine or cleaning supplies, and I don't use actual perfume unless it's for a party or the like. If I don't use a product daily, however, I'm okay with scent. Like shampoo, I only use that twice a week. I have very, very long hair, like to my mid-thigh, and I use quite high-quality products, and those are hard to find unscented if I don't want to spend an absolute fortune. One of the regular workers is extremely sensitive to anything scented. She told me this after working with me for a few weeks, and just asked that I mind what I wear when she was there. I said sure, thinking maybe I'd just not wash my hair the day before work, as that is the only scented product I use. But she regularly complains my scent gives her migraines. I'm so frustrated because I don't know what to do. I avoid her, try not to walk past her, put my hair in tight hairstyles so it's not so everywhere. Last time she literally opened 2 windows almost as soon as I walked in the room. I hadn't washed my hair for 3 days and literally wore nothing scented. I asked my friends if I have a particularly strong odour, and they say absolutely not. I've tried changing my shampoo to something else twice, no change. And at this point, I dread going to work because I feel like I make her sick just by being there. The other student there says she's had the same issue. Luckily, she's at the other end of the building, so it's not her issue anymore. I've considered just giving up. Nothing I seem to do helps. Would I be the idiot? Now here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. As someone who is sensitive to smells, I would never ask a co-worker to alter their hygienic practices because of me. I would just politely keep my distance and come up with my own solutions. You went above and beyond to try and accommodate her. What more can you do? If it's so bad for your co-worker, responsibility is on them to find solutions, especially since I'm so certain you're not the only one using scented products. She can request moving desks, put on a mask, or get a desk fan. Comment 2. Not the idiot. If your co-worker complains to you again, tell them that it's not your job to arbitrate employee disagreements and that she should take the complaints to HR. At the same time, you should email HR to let them know that your co-worker complains about your scent. Document the steps you've taken to try and mitigate this issue and explain that you're starting to feel harassed and it's an uncomfortable working environment for you. Comment 3. Not the idiot, and I say that as someone who is highly sensitive to smells. I get migraines instantly from certain scents looking at you, artificial cinnamon and anything Bath and Body Works, but I also recognise what is reasonable to ask of another person and what isn't. It sounds like she has unreasonable expectations of you at this point. And if she has an issue with your smell, then she needs to find a solution for herself. Now for the next story. To start, I have a service dog that is specifically trained for my medical condition. I have severe cardiac problems and honestly cannot even go to the grocery store without my dog. I live with my husband, but he was working, so I had to go to the store to buy some things. I see someone with an emotional support animal who walked up to my dog and tried to pet him. I told her not to pet him because he's working. She said word for word, "So is mine. I have anxiety and my dog goes everywhere with me. I'm glad my landlord can't kick me out since I have a service animal. I walked away trying to politely ignore her because it was clear it was not a service animal. This dog was in the cart and acting like a traditional dog does. I go about my day until we get to self-checkout, and her dog starts growling at my dog, showing teeth. She says, "Oh, stop, you are so cute." Someone sticks up for my dog and says, "Emotional support is not a service dog." And she responds with a "Yes, it is. He is providing a service, yada yada." I still ignore her, trying to get out quickly, and she says to me, "Weird that lady says we don't have service dogs." I correct her and say, "No, you likely don't have a service dog, and it's sad that your dog is not friendly." She literally called me a few names, but I walked out to my car. Admittedly, I yelled at her because I was furious her dog was showing aggression. I yelled, but I only said what I wrote. Should I have been nicer to her? I kind of feel like I should have just not said anything, but I also hate that people like her are so clueless about actual life-saving dogs. Emotional support dogs are not service animals. They are different. Now here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. And I resent people like this woman. Service animals are a noble concept. They help the patient without a doubt, but they also provide a sense of duty for the animal. Furthermore, it ensures that the animal is cared for. Obviously, you still have to feed and provide for it. It ensures a certain quality of life for the dog, yet people have corrupted this noble concept and insist on taking it to extremes. You can now claim any dog is a service animal. Heck, you can buy rip-off collars or harnesses all over the place. Comment 2. Not the idiot. My daughter's service dog was attacked by someone's pet after they were asked repeatedly to keep their just wants to be friends barking dog away. Now my daughter's service dog has become very reactive to other animals and needs to be sent back to training. However, there is no guarantee she will ever be able to resume her work, at least outside her home. Thousands of dollars down the drain. Comment 3. A tale of two dogs. The other day at the cafe, a lady had a service dog, but it was sniffing around and reacting to everything. About a week prior, at a crowded wine tasting, a couple had a service dog in training. This adorable little puppy sat there and didn't react to all the stimulation. One is not like the other. If you liked this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.